So last session, you arrived in Norhau, looking to meet with Bartholomew Gaius. After 4 days and a morning of travel, you arrived, secured your lodgings, and eventually found yourself before the butte, atop which was the entrance to the university. After some deliberation, between a mixture of Tulip's dogged determination and Bee's newfound affinity for animals, you managed to reach the top. Inside the university, you met Sarah, the automaton receptionist, Jacob Moravia, professor of battle magics, the librarian, a living tree who cares for her many leaves, and Bartholomew Gaius himself, who agreed to look into the mortifer on your behalf in exchange for your retrieval of a runestone from a nearby burial site. You have agreed to go on this errand, and on your way out of the university, Sarah gives you a collection of papers describing the location and some known information on the burial site and the culture that built it, 2 ever-burning torches, and a small bag of 10 gold, and takes your bracelets from you, as they aren't allowed to leave the university. The crypt that you are looking for is thought to be Zikarite in culture, and the entrance is located to the northwest of the city, about half a day's travel.
Okay. 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is maybe it's escaping me, but what is Zikarite culture in the setting?
It is
Or
not something that has been explored before.
cool.
Can you give me a society check to see what you know about it?
Sure, I can give you a bad society check.
That's fine. Anyone else can also give me a society. Oh my
Oh,
god.
there's the bad society
You've
check.
never heard of them before.
Uh-huh. That's convenient. I can be very in character.
Society check. Woo! I can do that one. Boom. Not much
Okay.
better, apparently, but I can do a
You
society
can
check.
do it. Would anyone else like to?
Fuck
Yes.
Let's bomb.
Oh, I'm going up. Oh, and do you have a list of the things that you said they provided us?
Hey.
I will just put it in the chat as soon as I find the bit.
We're just moving on it.
We can count in very irregular sequences.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Okay, so the Zikarites were a group of Orcish settlers who existed in the region prior to the establishment of Cunavitum. And prior indeed to the city-states which were annexed to form it. They are a very old people and no longer present.
Did they move on of their own accord, or were they extinguished?
You do not currently know. You do have access to one of the premium libraries in the country, should you wish to spend some time there.
Well, I mean,
Not sure
didn't
about whether or
Sarah
not-
give us papers describing the culture that built the burial site?
I mean, it's basically more practical than educational. Of like, out of respect for the
okay.
culture, don't grind up the mummies and snort them. Don't.
You'd think
piss-
that would be
don't-
obvious.
Well, you think it would, but they did that in Victorian era, so yeah. Ground up mummy was thought to be a cure for consumption or something.
I do somewhat recall this being a thing.
I mean, we can wander into the library and ask them for the books that might tell us. That's fine. I guess we do that before we go on our journey. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
do people find value in that?
Sure. Bia will play around with the ever-burning torches.
Sure, they burn quite long.
She sticks one in her mouth.
It hurts.
No, they don't release heat.
This one does.
Oh, she's gonna try it before she does that. Oh, okay.
Nah, it's fine. Okay, there is. So, the librarian will be very pleased that you've come to research something, and will help you find the books you need, and there aren't many. These are very old people from before most people were really writing books in the region. But you gather that they were a small enclave of primarily Orcish ex-nomadic religious zealots from about 1,000 years ago. They were thought to be very insular, fanatical in their fear of death and undeath, and the only structures that survived their disappearance, which is, it's unconfirmed how it happened, but the only structures that survived were their fortified crypts. Everything else has been lost to the tides of time.
Okay.
Well, I don't see any particular reason to hold off on moving on. Headed towards this crypt.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, that's
Yep.
fine.
That's reasonable. So, how far? It was northeast, right?
Northeast. I will put us on the world map.
Sure. I kind of just want to know how far it is, so basically how we would be getting there. Probably by foot, because I doubt.
Yeah.
So, like,
Anyway.
over here somewhere?
Yes, it would be. Let's see. Probably about like there-ish.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely walk it. You could like hire some horses if you wanted, but
That should be within walking distance. What's the? Is it just like basically grasslands out here?
yes, pretty much. Grasslands, prairies, some farmland. You'll probably be traveling, at least for the first quarter of the day, through farmlands and established trails, and then have to
Right.
break off through some uncivilized but not hostile lands.
Sure. Yeah.
Traveling through fairly rough terrain.
Well, we're on a budget, so horses probably wouldn't be able to make that good time over like tall grass anyway. So, well, actually, I don't know that. I don't know if real life horses can get through that quickly, because I imagine that's actually kind of where they
That's
are.
basically where they live. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess forget about that part. But we're on a budget.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so you leave the city through the western gate and travel down the road for about an hour or so before finding the smaller path signposted in your package, from where you must travel north. The going's harder and the travel slower, but after a couple of hours you find yourself in what you believe to be the approximate location of the crypt, in a more wooded area, a small wood. Unfortunately, the directions from this point are a little more vague, and you will have to find the specific location yourself.
Okay.
Gotcha. Did you-
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. No, carry on.
Sure. Okay. So did the collection papers say that the crypt was in the wood, basically, now that we've seen it?
Yes, it describes the location as in the rough center of a wooded area.
Got it.
In where you believe you currently are.
Okay. So then,
Should we just roll for perception?
I believe it would be survival. Probably track would be the closest standard action.
Well, I'll roll for survival. I'll probably bomb it, but that would be.
he is very bad at surviving. Should
As evidenced by the lighthouse situation.
Yes. Should we delegate a single person to roll that, or is this another one where we can all roll? Because rivals usually sometimes treated differently.
Probably one person would be leading it.
I've actually got pretty decent survival. Amusingly.
Yes, Chris does seem to have the best survival.
I'll go for it. Whatever.
Is there any penalty to attempting to aid somebody and failing?
What does the aid action say?
I think
if
there
you
is.
crit fail, there is a penalty.
Yeah.
And the
DC is
DC
20,
and the
so if you
DC
get
is 20, so crit fail would be 10.
Okay. Well, then probably not. Probably not a good idea.
I rolled an
Uh,
18.
For Zigger with a survival of -1, probably more likely to harm than help. Yes, 18.
Hmm.
Okay. It takes you close to 2 hours of wandering around the woods to find it, but eventually you do. You manage to find a depression in the ground, housing what seems to
Good at
be
therapy.
a door. And we will do that.
Okay.
The crypt itself is rather overgrown, though the entrance is obvious, and the regular shape around the entrance makes it fairly easy to see now that you've identified it. What's even more obvious, though, is that the large stone door is in fact been forced open, and there are obvious signs of recent habitation and a number of recently disinterred skeletons.
This must be the. Actually, I think we talked about this, but they've explored this place before, and they just didn't find what we're being sent here to find, right? Like they didn't
Yes.
bother. Okay, so probably nothing nefarious going on, just excavation and stuff.
Your packets do make mention of the fact that that was several years ago, and that the
Oh.
place was resealed afterwards,
Oh.
out of respect for the inhabitants' culture.
Okay, maybe slightly more nefarious.
And I've just realised that one of those crates is underneath the fucking cliff. But we'll ignore that.
Sure.
Ignore my failure in map making.
No worries. Just out of general curiosity, did we hear normal wildlife sounds and stuff while we were on our way here?
Yeah, normal stuff. A
Okay.
bit of rustling in the distance, maybe the odd larger mammal, a lot of birds.
Sure.
A couple of dinosaurs. No dinosaurs. It's fine.
Sure. So as far as nature is concerned, probably nothing super weird going on.
Not that you can tell, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, B will take a look at the door and say, as the self-appointed captain, obvious, looks like someone got here before us.
Yeah. I mean, are we sure it's not just the university people?
B will ask, when did those papers, that collection of papers get written?
Does it have a date on them?
The papers were fairly recent, but as I said, the exploration was several years ago, and it was
Right,
resealed
so
after.
just saying, basically, B is just going to say, if those papers were recent, then it doesn't seem likely that they would have missed putting in something about another investigation.
Okay. What would
Zigga
people
is-
want with this place?
Zigga is gonna reach down, or look down at the skeletons and determine. I'm obviously not medically trained at all, but I just want to tell, are these skeletons that look like they've been pulled up out of the crypt and just dumped on the ground, or do they look like skeletons of creatures that are in the forest or whatever that have been recently had the flesh ripped off of them or whatever?
Oh no,
I
these
feel
are
like that would be
these
decent.
are all,
That would be distinct.
old and dry and cracked.
Okay, so they've just been carried up out of the ruins and dumped on the ground outside.
Unceremoniously piled in a corner, yeah. If you'd like to know more about them, then a perception or medicine check, I think, would be appropriate.
Oh well, I can do perception. I cannot do perception.
You are fairly sure these are the bones of elves.
The two go in and shrugs and just follows in after them.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much reason not to walk inside, I think.
Well, there might be someone else here.
I'm gonna take a look at the crates, I guess, and see if there's anything
I
in the
mean-
crates. Were the crates being used as seating arrangement, I assume?
It looks like it, yeah.
Is there anything in any of them?
Nothing in particular. Fabrics, drinking cups, a couple of small mundane weapons.
Anything to, like, figure out who would have been camping here?
It all looks very, charitably you might say heavily used, uncharitably abused. The crates are not broken or mossy or wet or infested with insects or anything.
Do the weapons give any sort of indication as to the users? Like,
They are...
were they all like heavy weapons, like great axes, or small weapons like daggers, or?
They're mostly smaller weapons, but they're built for a larger hand.
Okay,
Like
perhaps like maybe an orc.
Perhaps.
But although there wouldn't be much of a reason why an orc. Are orcs common in the region? Like, are the orcs that are common in the region, are they descendants of these people?
Not super common, but not unheard of by any means. And not cultural descendants, certainly.
Okay.
Like there may be some who you know through biology are related to them, but the culture of the Zikarites is long extinct and doesn't seem to have any modern analogues or descendants.
Okay.
At least that you can identify.
Has the campfire been used recently?
Ooh, could you do a survival?
Sure. Fuck.
Well, I mean, you can tell it's a campfire and not just a random circle of rocks, so it's not too old. But you can't tell if it's been here a month or a day, really.
What?
Does the campfire look fresh to you or no?
Good question. Wanders up and looks at it. No idea.
No idea. Yeah.
Don't know, to be honest with you. I can't roll higher than a 6 on a die today.
Apparently.
Well, you just did earlier.
Yeah, sure. What about the bones? Can I tell anything about them? Let's have a look.
Medicine or perception?
They're the same roll. I'll do medicine because I can.
Oh!
Holy shit, that's a decent roll.
So these are undoubtedly the former bodies of people of orcish stock. You can tell from heavier brows, large lower canines, and very thick limbs. From the wear, you'd say that they were fucking ancient. And from the unworn scuffs and breaks on some of them, you'd say they were moved very recently and without much ceremony or respect.
Well, he'll relay that to everyone and then go, but why would you be moving really old bones around? What's the point? Were they trying to get them out of the way?
I mean, I could think of two reasons. If you were a necromancer trying to raise the dead, you would want to just dump a whole bunch of bodies in an area so that you could raise them easier. Or alternatively, just the more logical reason is if you were just deliberately trying to desecrate the dead. You know, you just deliberately being disrespectful to the crypt.
B nods and says that second one sounds pretty likely, even if they're just an asshole.
Well,
I mean, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to glean any more information out here.
What is this thing?
That's the door.
Or
Oh, my bad, sure.
It is both unsealed and opened, and from what you can tell, this is not the state that the original inhabitants would have left it.
how heavy is that door? If Beat goes up and tries to move it,
It's very heavy. Given its dimensions, you wouldn't be surprised if it were more than a ton, and it's buried like 3 inches into the mud at the bottom.
Oh, perfect. She was gonna like maybe block it with try to get it stuck with a rock so someone can just like go and close it on them. But if it's already buried,
That's
a bit,
going to take quite the effort, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
yeah, so that's fine.
If you
I
would like to
guess-
know more, there is an opportunity to investigate further.
What, the
Sure.
door?
Yes.
Are there
Sure.
things engraved onto the door? Basically, is that what you were referring to?
There are patterns on the door that seem more decorative than functional.
Okay. Well, I mean, since she's already looking at the door, may as well. What's the check you're looking for?
Law, architecture, or history, or something like that, probably.
Okay. Nope. No relevant lore there.
Okay.
I'm going to make a performance check, perception check, to look at the indents created by the door moving through the mud and everything like that,
Sure.
to see like approximately how long ago it was moved.
Sure.
Because it would be curious to know if that. Basically, what I'm looking for is that if this fire was used relatively recently, but the door was opened significantly longer ago, like maybe a month ago or something like that. That could be an indication as to how long that this camp has been here. Like as far as like the door was opened and they began doing stuff in the crypt long before they actually set this recent campfire. That's interesting. Would be interesting to know.
Sure. So, it hasn't been open long enough for like cobwebs to form or anything like that, but it doesn't seem like it was done yesterday. Like the mud around it has settled a bit in place.
Okay.
And it hasn't been particularly wet or rainy, but the area is a little muddy and moist, and you can't really nail it down to any more than probably about sometime between 3 days ago and a week or so.
That's pretty recent.
I mean, should we just head inside? I don't think we're going to learn anything else out here.
Yeah, no.
Let's head inside.
Seems like the camp and the door are roughly the same time period. So whoever's been here hasn't been here for that long, independently of their them opening the door.
B will follow as well, but she will say in a fairly serious tone, we should at least look out for anyone who might be in here. If they're desecrating crypts, they're probably not the nicest people.
I mean, I'm just wondering whether they needed to move it all out of the way for something.
If they were involved with the university, they probably wouldn't be doing it this way. She points at the pile of
No way. It's to do with the university. I don't believe that. But it doesn't. They're not necessarily doing it like to be intentionally offensive.
Have you met nice grave robbers?
I haven't met any grave robbers.
They're not nice.
You sure?
Probably not.
Okay, you two.
Look,
Alright, so we
all
go-
I'm saying is we should be a little careful, okay? If they're nice, then they're nice, but if they're not, then...
Oh no, I thought I would recklessly charge into the crypt full of possibly evil people. That sounds great.
Alright, Tulip's sick of both y'all shit. Let's go.
I mean, one of us is.
Okay, so are you entering the crypt?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Within the crypt, it is fucking dark. The dirt that was built up outside is very quickly replaced by dust and spider webs, and exactly what it is you're breathing down here doesn't really bear thinking about. It doesn't take an expert to see the drag marks in the dust. Something has definitely been moving in and out of this space.
I'd like to think that the standard operating procedure in these sorts of situations as an adventuring party is that Ziga takes point, because Ziga has dark vision and also is the trapper.
Sure, arrange yourself
I
as
would
you...
imagine so.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
B will also pull out if she was left in responsibility of them, the 2 ever burning torches,
Cool.
and probably hand one to her. If she's at the back, then she'll take one, and then she'll hand one to probably Tulip,
Yep.
someone closest to the front.
And Zega will probably also prefer that the party give him like 20 extra feet of space or so, so that he's
20
not in the
feet?
torchlight.
Mm,
Because he's going to be sneaking, yeah. Because the idea is like maybe to catch people off guard. Like, and he's probably got a hand sign for like, okay, I hear something up ahead. I'm gonna go check it out.
Stop stepping
know.
away from me, Chris. There's plenty of room
Okay.
there.
Sure. Well, you pass through the opening corridor quite quickly, and you enter into a larger room, a large hall supported by columns. Towards the opposite end of the hall is a raised platform with an altar of some description, and there are passages to the left and right.
Is that confetti on the altar?
This was actually just a big Halloween party. They took the bones out.
Yeah. It's actually a spirit Halloween distribution center.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna guess as I go along, I'm looking for traps and everything like that. So I'll just say that rather than constantly saying it out of character. But yeah. Going along, and I'm going to go along to the left-hand side.
What's your perception modifier?
4.
Okay.
Wait, in total?
Pretty normal at this
You don't have
point.
like expert perception or something?
Yeah,
is
and
there?
wisdom -1.
Oh.
Zigga is a stabby rogue, not a rogue, and not an explorative rogue, per se.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we follow along. Up and up.
The corners are particularly dusty and cobwebby, and not very pleasant to be in.
So take a peek around this corner.
Sure.
Also, I mean, I imagine there's very good acoustics in this area. Do we hear anything in the crypt at all up to this point?
Nothing in particular, no.
Okay. All right. I'm moving slowly, so just tell me when to stop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, stop there a sec. I'm just going to reveal more room for you. So part of this room has evidently collapsed over the years, and the poor unfortunate bodies to the south have been buried.
Have the bodies to the north been? Are they part of the ones that have been dumped out on the entrance? Or are they all still there?
All of the resting places in this particular room appear to be occupied.
Okay. What is the design of the walls? Because it looks like it's fossils. Like there's like fossils in every single section of the wall.
Don't put too much thought into that pattern. It's just the standard crypt wall on Incarnate.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Peek around that corner.
This particular passageway seems to be essentially entirely covered in incredibly thick cobwebs.
Okay. I'll note that for future. I'll go and check out the altar.
Okay, so as you climb onto the central platform, it's very clear that this was a place of importance. In the niche at the back, you see a dais similar to the one from Bartholomew's office. There are no anchor points for the crystal, and indeed no crystal at all. And the floor around the dais seems particularly sparkly in the torchlight. It's very easy to imagine this is being caused by tiny, tiny fragments. And there are a couple of larger shards as well, sitting loose around it.
Okay, so picking up one of those fragments and examining it, does it look like a fraction of the the crystal that we just saw in Bartholomew's office?
You're no crystallologist, but it very well could be.
Okay. Well, I give the all clear on this area, and then I'll take a look at the altar more clearly while the rest of the group comes up and looks at everything, whatever they want to look at.
While Zigga's doing that, B is going to stand here and look at the altar, and then she's going to cast a cantrip to try to identify a little bit about it. See, so she's going to cast read aura.
Sure.
Which is just after a minute, you can tell if it's magical, and if it is, then you learn the school of magic. So this is at the platform, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong fucking sheet here. That would help. Read aura. So sorry, was this the altar or the dais? Because there's an altar here, which is a
okay, the
religious
dais.
table, and that was okay. So, it is not magical.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anything on the altar or inside the altar?
Nothing of particular note. There's some old-looking instruments of some description. Maybe a couple of very rotten, collapsed candles. The altar itself seems to be quite heavily damaged.
Is the crystal that's been shattered magical, or...?
There is no magical item currently present in that area.
Okay. This looks like it's got like a book on it. Is there actually a book on it, or is that just like... Okay.
That's just the thing, I'm afraid.
So the altar itself, you said it's been badly damaged. It looks like it's split in the middle on this graphic. Did somebody just like take a warhammer or something like that and just destroy it by in half? Like,
that's a plausible answer, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, nothing else to do here. It looks like so. Gonna go check this. Looks like this has been
blockhead.
Blocked off with debris.
There is in fact a big rock there.
Does it look like it's just a single big rock, or do I see other rocks behind it? Like it looks like it's been completely collapsed, or is this just a single rock?
It looks like the bulk of it is one rock. There's probably a few other things that you'd quite like to get out of the way, but
Does this rock look like it could be conceivably moved if we work together?
Conceivably, yeah, it probably could be.
We want to check the other pathway before we do that.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to keep our options up. We've got cobwebs hallway, and we got this rock hallway.
While they're exploring that, B would like to look into the crack in the altar, and I don't know how much it's split, but if there's enough space that she can kind of like peer into it, she'd like to check if the coat of dust, or if there is dust in there, and if the coat of dust is even, based to see if it's kind of been there for a while like that.
Sure. There is some dust, but more like dust that is settled there after this place was disturbed. It's not a thick, uniform layer.
Sure, and she just mutters under her breath, disrespectful and violent.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just collecting a list of all the bad things that these people are doing. She's already formed an opinion of them.
Like the idea that it just echoes out across the chamber.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So Zigga's moving forward to that one?
Yeah, he's looking at what's down the corridor, I guess. Okay. Oh my god, more things.
Looks fairly clear at the moment.
This looks kind of bad, as does this.
A little suspect. Just a little bit.
No. That body is clearly on the map layer. It is not of any significance. If it was on the creature layer, then we wouldn't have a problem.
Well,
That's
Oh,
an
that's
interesting school of thought.
Let's see how far it takes you.
It's very. I love the idea. I love the idea of a character actually saying that I see, and everyone else looking at them like, "What the fuck is a map layer?"
Okay. So I will say that I'll give a hand signal to Chris that there's something in the room, and then we'll slowly start to walk in. I think we can all walk in together at this point because we're not worrying about being ambushed or anything. So there's clearly bodies missing from the sarcophagi. So that's presumably some of the bodies that are outside.
Yes, a number of the
Are there,
bodies
like-
in this room are missing, and you can tell from the lack of dust where they once were that it is a fairly recent movement.
Now, the bodies that are removed, are the rags like the wrappings? Are they just like haphazardly thrown somewhere in the room? Can we see like a pile of rags somewhere?
No.
Oh, they
Wait.
might be burned in the fire.
So, if there are people here moving bodies around, and we found their campsite, and we're in here, and they're not, where are
Well,
they?
They're presumably not in the cobwebbed area because cobwebs don't grow that thick in the course of days.
And
So
they're not in. They're probably not in the rock area either, because
no,
they'd have
they
to move the rock out the way.
Well,
Yeah.
that depends. Fish. Basically the lines on the map where it's more like a dark gray.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming I feel like I'm assuming you made that.
I did.
So is it accurate to say that those are the areas that seem to be more traveled because there's less dust there?
Yes.
Okay, in which case, B was probably noticed that because if it's that much of a difference there, she will note that the rock up here, that path does have a path leading to it. So if these like non-dust trails have been made by the people who are here, that rock wasn't here when they were here, most likely.
Huh.
that is
Maybe.
a level of intensity I did not even notice, and that is freaking awesome. You put the
Yeah.
trails
Out
I
of
had
character,
I had
I
noticed the trails.
out of character, I had my suspicions because I know that Fish has been making these maps,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of detail is not something that comes with the tiles for the ground because those are all uniform.
They are.
So
That's
that's
like
probably like a transparency
super,
layer.
super like attention to detail. I love it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wander into the corner and A, check out what the fuck's going on here, and B, what the fuck's going on here.
Okay, what would you like to look at first?
Is this magical to my magical eye? Not as in, is there a magic on it? Does it look like a magic circle?
Oh yeah, this is some variation of a magical installment.
I would like to roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what the fuck is going on
Sure.
with it. I suck.
It's definitely magic.
Yeah.
That much is quite obvious. Specifically what it's doing, you can't tell. But despite the appearance on the actual map that you're looking at, it's quite similar, though smaller and simpler. It's quite similar to the one in the main hall.
Okay.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
sorry, carry on.
Can B try to identify it?
Yes. You get the exact same information at the exact same time.
If there were no other indications that we're siblings, well, there it is.
What
still.
is this actually a body here? Is this actually a thing?
That is a body, indeed. It is the body of an orc in what appears to be leather armor, and the orc does not look like he had a pleasant death. Dried blood and much discoloration.
Is it ancient like all the other bodies here, though?
No. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's dead cold and stiff, but it is not 1,000 years old.
So this guy didn't have a fun time.
Are there visible wounds? You said dried blood.
Do me a medicine or a perception.
I shall roll medicine because
Not
I'm looking at him as well.
Not a particularly difficult one, but one all the same.
No.
No, Chris can't find anything.
B is not a medic, but
Hey.
Hey.
Yes,
Yes,
keepers.
you find a number of puncture wounds and one particularly vicious-looking bite wound. And the skin around that bite wound is considerably more discolored.
What area is it? Like their neck or
On the shoulder.
shoulder? Okay. How big does the mouth that made that bite look?
Unpleasantly big.
Unpleasantly big.
It-
Can we say like maybe like a foot width wide or something?
No, not quite a foot wide. That would be That would probably just take his arm off.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But those puncture wounds, they go deep.
I see. Okay.
Big old several-inch long teeth.
If I make a nature check, can I compare that to what I would guess a spider bite would look
You
like?
can.
Okay.
No.
Might be.
Might be.
Might be.
Fair enough.
It'd be a really fucking big spider if it was.
Yeah. Well, there's
Chris-
some really fucking big webs over there in the corner.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Chris tries to find the wound, sort of left there scratching his head. B looks at it for like half a second, points at the wound. It's like, duh.
Well, maybe he's looking on the other side of the body. They're working as.
And then Chris turns to it and turns to B and goes, "What made that?" And then B goes, "Dunno."
Big teeth.
Isn't that your job?
Big teeps.
Isn't that your job? And Chris goes, takes a look at the bite, thinks for a minute. Let's see if I have an appropriate. I can do a nature check, I guess.
Oh,
Way!
shit, son.
Work.
So it's definitely reminds you of spider bites, but much bigger. But it's not quite. There's something about it that doesn't quite fit.
What, that makes me think it isn't a spider?
Yeah, like it's hard to put your exact finger on it, but it doesn't seem like the kind of place a spider would attack. The angle of the bite is a little bit off. It's all slightly just not. It looks like a spider bite, but that's not how a spider would bite them.
Well,
Got it.
I mean, it's some sort of fanged something though. Like, and also, do I get an idea of how large the animal might be off of that?
You would estimate that its mouth is probably about half a foot wide. It's a big fella.
That is large. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the bite's discoloration, do we have reason to believe that it was like necrosis due to poison?
Some kind of poison would be a reasonable assumption, yes.
Okay.
Especially with that nature check, actually. I should have mentioned that.
Okay. Sure. So it's a venomous something with a large mouth. Okay.
Okay, so do we want to disturb the cobwebs or the stone first?
The stone's gonna take more effort.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cobwebs could theoretically be removed without an entity being aware of it, whereas the stone, I think moving that is gonna make so much noise that anything in the crypt is gonna hear us.
Yeah.
could just burn it.
sec.
I wonder if the torches would do anything to the web or not.
Well, we just established earlier they give off heat, so presumably.
That was mostly me memeing, and I need to check what they actually do.
Oh,
They do not give off, but we have actual torches as well. So, or at least I do.
They do, in fact, generate no heat.
But I have actual.
Is it
They're like
fine?
flashlights more than torches.
I intended to change my readied spells around before we left. I assume we slept
Yes.
before.
You can have, yeah. You already booked it.
Would prestidigitation allow me to move the cobwebs out of the way as we go forward?
Prestidigitation, Pierre. Why do they call it something that's so hard to fucking spell?
I suspect the answer is probably no to that, though.
Yeah, this is beyond the realm of prestidigitation, I'm afraid.
Can I do it with Mage Hand?
Yes, you could, I think.
I could do it with Rogue Hand.
When it's stuck,
Well,
if it's
I don't want to actually touch the cobweb unless in case it all gets stuck to us, and the mage hand is kind of insubstantial in that way. Like I don't think it's going to get caught in the cobweb.
guess.
One
I don't know how
unattended
thick
object
these webs are.
of light bulk or less. It lasts sustained. So
I was just hoping I could just like move it out the way as I go forward. Like,
yeah,
I-
you can dig your way through it over the course of a few equivalent rounds.
yeah. I mean, I don't think we're under time pressure here, so like I assume I can just like make a tunnel basically by just like swiping cobwebs out the way.
Sure.
Just do that.
Okay.
I don't want to get covered in cobweb.
Everyone okay
Slowly
with-
move forward
everyone's
if
okay-
that's okay with
okay.
everyone else.
Yep.
he's gonna hold up the torch behind him just to give him light.
Mm.
Sure. Imagine the cobweb in the door isn't there anymore. I don't have another thing for that.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
like clearing my way through, and then once I'm through, I'll let the friggin' Ziga go forward.
Okay, give me just a second. I need to do.
Seems like this crypt is pretty
Oh no.
what's the term that I'm looking for? Mirrored, but symmetrical.
Yeah, I imagine so. Other than the cave in at the bottom left, probably was symmetrical.
Okay, Zigger. As you get past the cobwebbed area and almost into the room, you hear a quite chittering noise to the right.
no.
Of course, it's a chittering noise.
Okay. Can he see it from where he is or not?
Not currently, no.
Can I see the rest of the room?
Let's do.
Might have to stick your head out for that. That might not be a great idea.
Let's do. Is it that?
Yep, seems to work.
That's about right.
Okay.
And this area, you just looking at it, you can see it's a lot more webbed up than the other rooms.
Okay. I will signal that there's an enemy here. And I assume most people heard the chittering.
Let's see. You did.
I think I actually have a better perception mod than you do.
Tulip did.
That doesn't surprise me, because my yeah.
Chris did. B didn't.
Okay. Do I see the hand signal from Ziga, even if I didn't hear the chittering?
Yeah.
I'd like to think that you're paying attention. To
I
Ziga
imagine we'll pass it down the
scouting.
line if nothing else.
For sure. If that's the case, if there's time, can I cast a spell?
We are not currently in initiative.
Got it. Yeah. So, based on their conversation from before and where they're finding this enemy, even if she didn't hear it, I think she would assume that it's what they thought. And she's going to cast summon animal.
Mm-hmm.
Send out a guard dog, because that's the bigger one of two that we have prepped.
Mm-hmm.
And then on that same action, have the guard dog move forward into the room.
Resized everyone else's token but the guard dog.
So I'm just gonna have it go out there.
Okay, and as it reaches about that point, a humanoid-ish looking motherfucker pounces forward.
What in the hell?
Oh, well, if that answers that question.
Does it though?
Yeah, it does.
Does it though?
And we are now in combat.
I mean, it answers something, but what exactly is the question it's answering?
Why the spider did not bite like a spider.
That I didn't have the token
Yeah,
selected.
that's fair.
It's answering a question of what the fuck question mark.
You should be able to. You should have an initiative button for the guard dog as well.
Yes. Hang on.
Wait, you're meaning to tell me that dog just ain't dead? Like it's not dead immediately?
I mean,
So-
it hasn't attacked yet, so it
Yeah,
might very well
it
be.
used that.
Oh, my guard
It
dog
used
should
what?
have blew up.
Oh, I'm still talking to myself. Fuck.
The guard dog sheet seems to be different from like it
Yes,
looks like a monster sheet.
I gave it an NPC sheet because it only really needs an NPC sheet.
There we go.
Hopefully you'll be able to find everything on it.
I think I rolled it correct. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Web lurker, of course.
Bring upon
Okay.
such as the okay, yeah, fair enough. That's strides before rolling initiative. So, question about that. If the effect is only to stride up, does that mean that because initiative sort of happened during my quote unquote turn? Do I still get this? Would you say I still get the second action or no?
No.
Perfectly fine. That's all. I just wanted to.
Because you out of combat, you summoned, you moved the dog, then it did the reaction and started the combat, and then we roll initiative and take it from there.
Sure thing. Alrighty.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, you've got a big half ogre, half spider looking motherfucker.
Ogre. Oh god.
He's a big muscly boy.
Oh, okay.
I try and shoot it with something like a telekinetic projectile of some description.
That
one might
yeah,
say.
there's plenty of skulls and rocks.
Shoot it with the head
I
of one
doubt
of
it's
the
going to hit though, unfortunately.
Was that the roll for it?
hmm
That will miss. Yes.
F. And then I'll guidance Sigurd, or
Sure.
whatever it is, not guidance. My speckle
Yeah.
guidance.
Guys,
Nudge fate.
Nudge fate. That's it. Okay. The web lurker has been gifted a tasty morsel.
Mm-hmm.
And it attacks the dog with its fangs.
That hits.
I
Fine.
pressed the wrong button. I'm just going to press the correct button and we'll take that damage.
Sure. That hits it and kills it.
And then it kind of throws it deeper and turns
Sure.
to face Zigger as the front man.
Does there appear to be any other creatures in the room? Do we hear anything else?
Not currently. And then it's gonna... Oh, what's it gonna do? I think it's gonna move here and try to web you and miss. A gobbet of sticky whiteness hits the wall behind you.
Giggity.
Lewd.
Tulip.
Can I run past Chris and Zigga?
I guess.
What are the rules on that? PF2 movement through tight spaces, because that's basically what this is.
Because I can just pick either one of them up. Like it's.
If not, you can always wait for them to do something first, and just maybe like in character shout for them to get out of the way.
Oh.
Squeeze is an action, but it's not. Oh, okay. So not. All right. Okay. So it's difficult terrain, basically.
Okay.
Because you're
That still gives
squeezing.
you enough movement, I think, right?
What, sorry?
Difficult terrain costs an extra 5 feet. So
I'm gonna go here. and
5,
hit 'em
10,
forward.
15, 20, 25. You'd end up in the same cell as Zigger.
So you have to spend 2 movements to get out the other side.
It does say, I don't know if you're looking at a different part for tight spaces specifically. It does say that moving through friendly creatures or willing creatures is normal movement.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Unless you're doing something with the tight space, which would also be understandable.
It doesn't look like it's a tight space.
It's not that tight a space. It's not like super wide, but you can move through the space of a willing creature. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, you get full movement then.
Cool.
Yep, you can just walk through.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
You have to take out your weapon and then you attack it. Yep. Cool, that's it.
Guard dog is dead.
Mhm.
There were 2. Guard dog is dead.
Zigga, there's no attacks of opportunity in this game, right?
There are.
Not unless it has that, yeah.
They're class features and probably some monster features. So
Gotcha.
may or may not.
how about the concept of like tumbling through an enemy square?
I just read a thing on that actually.
Yeah, that's actually a specified action. Tumble through. You stride up to your speed. During this movement, you try to move through a space of one enemy. Attempt acrobatics against the reflex DC. If on success, you move through the space, treating it as difficult terrain. And failure, your movement ends. You trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the space. So if it has attack of opportunity, it can do it.
All right, I'm going to attempt to tumble through its space and end up on the opposite side of where I am now relative to it.
Oops. There.
Correct.
Sure.
So acrobatics
Versus its
Reflex.
reflex DC.
DC,
That
which is the bonus.
will, I'm afraid, fail.
Okay, you stay where you are for that action.
If you
Does it have attack of opportunity?
Tumble through. It does not attack of opportunity, Zigger.
Okay.
You can try again if you want.
Or you could also just walk
Or
around
you can
it.
just move
I
at
mean,
this point.
can't I just? I guess if it doesn't have an attack, like what exactly does a failure look like? I'm just wondering, like, because I'm wondering, like, why am I not physically moving there?
Well, because
You-
it moves and
Yeah.
chest bumps you back to where you were.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, it
Yeah. Then
catches you.
I guess I'll just move over there and then take my last attack action to attack.
Sure, and I think you have flanking there because you have
Yeah.
center to center through its square.
Oh wait, sorry. For reference, Tom, would a +1 make him pass that check?
No.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. And I'll rapier strike.
Go attacking.
That'll hit. It will not crit, but it'll hit.
DA 2d6 plus 2.
That's some damages.
Jesus. Sure.
Precision damage, lol.
Yeah. It is stabbed quite thoroughly.
Between Tulip and I, like, how's it looking?
Tulip didn't hit it.
Tulip didn't hit.
Oh, Tulip didn't hit. Okay.
Everyone
that's
else
right,
has
okay.
missed.
It is Agnery.
Let's see. Well, I am now free to not sustain anymore on the bright side. So, would you say I have line of sight from like, where would you say I have line of sight from? If, like, what's the
To the
farthest I can?
creature, probably here.
Got it. Okay, fair enough.
Speaking of line of sight, can I get the rest of the room?
Oh,
lit up on my-
yes. Yeah, sorry. Wham. Oh,
I-
that was the opposite of what we wanted.
It's
Wham. No, that was still the opposite of what we wanted.
getting darker.
The darkness is
Wow.
encroaching.
Motherfucker.
No,
You're on
Tom,
the
you're
wrong tool.
adding
I
more
think.
darkness.
I think you're on the wrong tool.
I clicked the right tool multiple times. I'm sure of it. Whatever, we got there. It's fine.
Okay, well that is very
Darkness, my old
uncomfortable.
friend.
Let's see. That's very uncomfortably close. Let me see if I have anything else I can do here. Let's see. Tripping is that's probably not gonna work. That failed.
My kid knows when I'm busy, so she manages to respect my boundaries by climbing up right behind my back, between the back of my back and the chair, and making loud noises. That's how she shows her respect to the fact that I'm busy.
It's not the first time that's happened, I think.
No, it is
Okay,
definitely not.
so B is actually going to take 2 strides
Mm-hmm.
for a total of far.
50. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Is the diagonals are not accurate here right now, right?
Oh god, they're probably not, no, because it's not the default setting for it. I can change that. Measurement Pathfinder compatible. Now it should be.
Sure. Okay, let me cancel this out and then try again. Okay, great. Yep. So she'll do this, basically, if you can see that.
No.
No.
No. Okay. Whoops. Am
You
I
want
hiding
hide
it?
from others, yeah. can see
Yeah,
it now.
I saw that, but
It only
Okay,
went 5
yeah.
foot, but I saw it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's 50.
No,
No.
I saw 5, not 50.
Oh, I'm showing my planned route. I guess that.
Oh,
yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
That's 50, and then she's going to use her focus cantrip for water toss essentially. Which is
Moist
a one
no,
action.
not moist hands. Moist blast.
Mhm.
That will hit.
Just drop a blob of water at his face.
Moist spider ogre.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for me.
Okay, did do it. That's weird. Okay, Chris.
Move and shoot it.
Move and shoot.
I don't know how much sound is bleeding through, so if y'all hear noises, just let me know and I'll mute my mic.
It's fine.
Hooray! That should hit.
That will hit. Oh,
Max
Jesus.
damage.
Okay, it is. Oh, that wasn't quite correct. It is ill. It is very ill. And it is unhappy about this turn of events.
Okay.
It is going to try and web Tulip.
That's got to hit.
That's going to hit. Which does that.
Does it
Oh,
crit?
boy.
That might crit, actually.
I think it does actually.
Tulip, what's your AC?
17.
That will crit.
Yeah, that'll crit.
Aw, how much damage do I take?
8
8.
total.
I'm assuming that based on the direction, she gets stuck to the front of that crypt, like the sarcophagus she's standing in between.
Yes. That one. Plonk. And then it's going to scuttle over here, climbing dexterously over the
Rude.
over the thing. Actually, no, it's probably gonna do a thing an attack before that because it doesn't actually have any ranged moves. So Zigger, as the one who isn't now immobilized, is gonna get fanged. Is not gonna get fanged, which is probably for the best, really. And now it's hiding behind that crypt. Tulip, you are stuck to a wall and cannot. You are immobilized and stuck and cannot move until you succeed a DC 18 acrobatics check.
But is it she can't move, as in she can't physically like move her arms or anything, or she just can't leave the space?
I think it's the space because immobilize is a key word.
Immobilized
I think.
is a keyword, yeah.
Because I mean, she could
Roll
swing a
acrobatics.
weapon in it.
Can't use any action with a move trait, basically.
Well, yeah, but she's like swing her weapon at it.
Well, if she had
Well, from there,
she has a ranged weapon, then maybe.
No. At the webbing to break
Yeah,
yourself
if
free.
she wants to
rather
chop
than
her
making...
own leg off, maybe.
Well, you don't
That's-
have to like.
I
I
think-
just wonder why is it exclusively in acrobatics and not a strength check as well? It seems like brute strength would be just as effective than trying to slip
Probably.
out of it.
That is exactly how spider webs work, Mag. You get caught
What?
in it, and you try and brute strength to wriggle around and get out of it, and you get caught up in more web.
Should I just roll acrobatics?
yes.
Probably.
Fuck.
Sadness.
F.
You can do it 2 more times on your turn.
Yay.
No.
Yay.
No.
No.
Yay.
No.
Sadness. Tulip is struggling with the webbing.
F's
Look
in
at
the
it
chat.
eventually.
Okay.
Zigger.
All right. I am nervous about going in there without Tulip, but as I'm the only other frontline person
It-
left,
It's not very happy. We know that much. Like it's
Yeah.
in not great straits.
You could
Yeah.
go and stab it and then run back again. You don't have to. Stay.
yeah, I'm good though. I'm gonna, as part of my move action up here, I'm dropping my dueling cape, and so I'm expecting that I'm gonna be taking the brunt of this thing, and I'm gonna stab at it twice.
Okay.
So that's +7 and then +5. Or excuse
No.
me, +7 and +2.
Yes.
Yes. Unless your weapon is agile.
Yeah, this one's not agile,
Okay. That'll hit.
and that'll crit.
Crit. There you go.
Is a 20 always a crit?
Yes.
Okay.
20 or
Yeah.
10 over.
Okay, so this is a d6 plus 2, and then 2d6 plus 4.
Not bad.
4 and 11.
Okay. The second stab, I'm afraid, is wholly unnecessary. As the first one driven into its chest, it keens and collapses in place.
It starts to fall, and then the second stab like skewers it through the head.
Yeah. Probably not the head. You don't want to get too close to those big old spider fangs.
No, but that's the drag. That's the dramatic thing, though, right? Like, is
Oh.
you drive the rapier through its mouth, and your
Are you-
hand is like precipitously close to its fangs.
Are you trying to
as
Chamber of Secrets it? With
I don't.
the roof of the mouth?
If I recall, Chamber of Secretsing it did involve Harry getting bitten.
Yeah, Harry did nearly die from that.
Chris will wander over and I assume with no like time constraint,
Yeah,
we just remove the webbing.
It takes probably about a minute to get it so where Tulip can actually move, and then probably another 5 minutes to clear the rest of it out of her clothing. But with no time constraint, it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hopefully that was not a mob spider.
Zigga's gonna take a look over the creature and see if it has if it was sentient. Did it have possessions?
I don't believe so. Let me double check its creature entry and see if that's how I exactly want to play it. It does not have possessions, no.
Is this something that feasibly someone would know about, or is it unlikely that it, in the same way that merfolk would be unlikely?
Give me an occultism check.
I can try, but Chris is probably going to want to do this later. Let's see.
I wasn't check what about this?
No.
Never mind, lol. Oh, about the actual spider.
shit. Oh, bees her tell of these web lurkers. They are a known aberration that likes to take up residence in places where there are spiders and such. And it will basically just use them to go hunting for stuff for it, and then hang out here.
That looks less humanoid than the thing that is in the token.
Oh, it does. Okay. Because this thing looks like it's basically humanoid with a spider flare.
I mean, it's basically humanoid with, but also spider.
It just looks a little. The picture on the in the
I picked a more humanoid picture for it.
Sure. No worries.
This one,
okay. Yeah, that looks definitely like a spider.
This one in particular went down a lot easier than you would have expected, and it does look a little emaciated and like it's not doing very well for itself.
Well, bones are not full of nutritious value, so
no,
I can
it probably picked a bad place to set up shop.
I'm going to see whether I know what's going on with this magic circle.
Sure.
No.
Looks like the other smaller one.
Yep.
Wait, what would you need to roll? Arcana?
Yes.
That's fair. I'm almost tempted to do it just for the lulz, even though I know a bomb.
Do it.
I mean, Tulip has been like a surprising Arcana savant every time she's done it in the past.
Definitely looks like the other one. Looks like something Chris might draw.
We have instead found out that we are all siblings.
Yes.
All of her involved.
Yes.
Are there
Fucking-
mundane spiders in this room?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Probably like none that you can identify as going to kill you if you look at it. But the corners of the room and the edges of the crypts are covered in spiders. It's about time.
I hope we didn't kill, like, their dad in front of them.
Kinda?
Oh.
Kind of a bit?
I mean, it does certainly look like that entity literally is holding spiders in its stomach. Like, its stomach is an organic, like, I was going to say organic womb, but that doesn't make any sense.
It is basically a spider nest that it grows on its stomach.
Sorry, tiny babies.
If it makes you feel any better, they're spiders, so they probably don't have a whole lot of emotion.
Read none.
Well, some of them can be surprisingly intelligent.
Okay.
I believe some spiders can problem solve.
I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
Let's go try the rock.
Yeah, I guess we try the other place we haven't been yet.
I mean, but it is interesting that this area was clearly disturbed. And I mean, now we can see, now that we know that there's a supernatural entity in here making webs, it can be reasonably assumed that it set up the webs right afterwards. But whatever came through here did come through here as well, and somehow didn't kill the spider and wasn't. Actually, take a
Wait.
look at the spider real quick. Does it look like the spider had been injured recently by a weapon attack that wasn't ours?
It's kind of hard to tell because it's chitinous. So it doesn't really have flesh wounds to speak of.
Well, yeah, but like shattered chitin.
But yeah, it does. You could believe that it's been in a significant fight in the last recent while.
So,
Okay.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a trail leading to the wall here. Is there something weird going on with this wall?
Do me a perception.
You want to draw Zigga's attention to it as well?
I mean,
Okay.
he's not making a secret of it. Like,
I mean, okay, yeah, that's fine.
If
Right.
Sega wants to go over and have a look, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do that thing where, like, as a PC, I just like immediately zom onto anything that I want to. I'm still investigating the body, but I'm thinking if like Chris wants to call out to Zigga to help. But
yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, he'll point out that why is there a trail going to the wall?
Could just be examining the other tomb there.
Well, I mean, it's just that there's a trail going to this tomb, and there's a trail going to this tomb, and this just seems a bit out of place. Anyway, do I notice anything weird?
Yes, there is a very dusty and webbed up, but significantly smaller than the web lurker hole in that bit of wall. And you expect that's probably the route where the web lurker was getting most of its food prior to the vault to the crypt being opened.
Right. Okay. So it's
sending
hidey hole.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was sending spiders out that way through some underground insecty tunnel, and
Okay.
being delivered squirrels and such.
Was it literally a shut-in?
Oh yeah, this was an incel web lurker.
this was a neat.
What's
Yes.
it? Hikikomori or whatever it is. Yeah.
Hikikomori.
Not hunting for its own food, just sending out little minions to do it for it.
Well, with that mystery solved, I will head over to the other doorway.
It was Grubhub.
Oh, that wins. That wins. Grubhub wins.
How do you do that, by the way, Rev?
Q.
Or right click on each node that you want.
Oh, I'm gonna hijack Tulip for a sec. Oh, you can do that. Okay.
I find it easier just because my other hand is usually not on the keyboard when I'm playing
Yeah.
World. When I'm on Roll.
Oh, I see. So like Q.
Yeah, and you press
Yeah.
escape to cancel out of anything.
Oh god, the
So,
spider.
How do you
prison.
then make it move along that?
You
trajectory?
release the mouse button.
You can do it with your character token as well.
I'm pretty sure that Zigga is the next strongest person after Tulip, so Zigga's gonna give Tulip a hand with the rock.
Yes,
Two. Wow.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually move my character when
No,
I
you
do
need
that.
to
use
select
the select tool,
move
like,
tool.
and then hold onto your token as if you're going to drag them somewhere, and then start right clicking.
Oh god, that's. Oh, I see.
There you
Right.
go. That did it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do we do, Tom?
Right, big rock. Moving big rock is athletics, I think.
Okay.
I would imagine so. Chris is gonna let the strong people do that. and watch.
Oh, Tulip's fucking hefting this thing.
Does she even need my help, or is it one of those situations where I just like put my hands on it as though I'm actually doing something? Well, I guess is it.
Oh my god!
You're helping.
Wow. Okay, so I mean, given the position of it and where it's located and how it's wedged in there, 2 people actually lifting it is probably a bit impractical. But you are currently being the best spotter anyone has ever been.
I'm gonna say I'd like to say that we move it so successfully, easily, that we don't make as a whole shitload of noise.
Sure. You managed to with that probably unwedge it about halfway of out of the thing. This is a really big rock.
Should we take turns trying to dig it out?
Yeah, you can do.
Chris, like, turns to be what-
that could be our 2 turns. Yeah, that could be the
Yeah.
2 rolls.
Chris
Okay,
turns
so-
to be while this is all happening, and it's like, does it ever worry you that the younger ones are the ones who are actually strong?
Well, I mean, we still have other advantages over them. It's not like that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, we're so tired of your 2's shit that we just like go spot and lift weights when we're pissed off at you.
I mean, does it never worry you that your younger sister could like snap you like a twig?
Okay. So B is gonna respond to that, but in real life, do you have any siblings?
No.
Okay.
There's your
So
friend.
even if your younger siblings are stronger than you, with my younger brother is probably more athletic than I am, you still have a position of superiority over them engraved in the years. So doesn't matter.
Okay.
So we'll deposit the rock like right here somewhere,
Sure.
like on the bottom level, out of the way.
Sure. And you do
And
indeed.
I know it's in the map layer, so you're not actually gonna move it, but yeah.
You
And
do
then
indeed
Ziggle will
use this.
slip in silently and take a look around.
So for
Just
some,
like to give Zigga a pat on the head.
good job,
I mean, it's
brother.
kind of condescending, isn't it?
Maybe a scritch between the ears.
Yes.
I don't. That seems odd. Like I don't think.
Why
Well,
would
she'll
that be
pat his
odd?
shoulder, you know?
I mean, physical affection, sure, but like
I was mostly joking, but
that's condescending.
Yeah, but you're a
Uh,
cat.
Racist. Just because I'm a cat does not mean you're just allowed to pet my hair.
I imagine cat folk do have that kind of positive reaction to that still. Even if they don't like it, it's like, you know.
Inbuilt.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm like I could theoretically see, like Zigga's not super reserved or anything like that. I could see like, we're at the campfire at night and whatever, and I'm working on something, but I'm like laying down and I'm like in Tulip's lap or something like that, and she's like scratching my ears or something. I don't see that would be unusual, but like we did a successful task and she like pats me on the head. That seems like extremely infantile.
Well, yeah, but she's also like a foot taller than you.
She is big. We'll say she like claps him on the shoulder, but not in a way that's gonna physically disable him
Yeah.
for the rest of his life.
1d6 plus 2 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
I don't.
Okay, could you do a perception where you are there, please?
Yes.
Both of us, or just Zigga?
Yeah, go on then. You're both a bit forward there.
Little Miss Hammerhands, she's known as.
About to catch these fucking hounds.
Siblings.
Hey,
Siblings!
Battle buddies.
It is quiet. It is very quiet.
Too quiet.
No chittering.
No chittering. The chittering stopped when you stabbed that thing in the chest.
Oh,
When you
jeez.
stab the thing that was chittering.
Yes. Are you going to move into the room?
Can we throw like a torch in there first or something? This feels like a fucking Mexican standoff.
Zigga's gonna go into the room because if we didn't hear anything, then there is nothing there.
That is definitely how sound works. There's no thing without sound. That's the famous saying.
Okay, no suspicious trail marks in the. That said, it sure does seem like we're gonna find a tunnel in here because why would they block it off if it was empty? I don't see anything unusual, so I'm gonna give the sign that it's all clear.
The rock that was blocking the passage.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of the walls seem damaged in that area, like it was a cave-in, or
ceiling.
or does it? Yeah, more the ceiling, or does it look like it was actually moved because none of the walls or ceiling are damaged?
It looks like it was actually moved. And
Okay.
that kind of makes sense because it would have been a pain to fit that rock through the passage to the end that you
Hmm.
found it. It's probably much more likely that they carried it in from outside and just jammed the front of it up.
I see. Interesting. That is a good question then. Why they would do that?
We're supposed to be looking for a rune stone, right?
Yes.
Should we be
I mean-
checking these fucking graves? These coffins?
Were we
Let's
given
see.
some indication of where the runestone might be? Like, surely if it was buried with someone, they would have told us, or if they thought it would have been.
You have
don't-
not been given any information about it, other than the
Okay.
fact that Bartholomew expects it to fit within the dais.
Okay,
Okay, well,
I'm going to
check
walk up and check
there.
the final magic circle and suck at it again. Go, gadget. Arcana check. Continue to roll
Good
really,
lord.
really badly.
Wow.
You know that thing where if you stare at an essay or a piece of code for too long, it starts making less sense to
Fuck's
you?
sake!
Yeah, definitely you get over familiar with it.
Yeah.
Chris has been too into Arcana checks recently and has become over familiar. Tulip.
The duality of man.
Now, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that Tulip ain't exactly a smart girl. But Tulip can connect some dots when Tulip wants to. Bartholomew told you that he believes that these are connected to the automata in some way. And now you have a bunch of these shattered crystals in rooms with a bunch of corpses. So maybe there's something soul-y.
Hmm.
Okay, I see.
Something solely.
Well,
So
Chris,
there's
he doesn't see,
shattered-
but I see.
There's a shattered thing in every room except for this one here because there was a cave-in. I imagine.
Hmm.
Which is interesting. So somebody's been coming in here and doing something. And we for sure know that this wasn't the runestone here, all these little sparkly bits.
Hmm.
Or do we not know that?
Well, it wasn't magical, so.
Even if it was the runestone, if it's in that state, then it's probably not of use to anyone anymore.
What would we need to detect ghosts? Lol.
I have an out of character.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, sure. I'll let Amber finish with this because this was in the middle of their investigation.
Well, I mean, it's weird that somebody would bust in here. And it's weird that the spider thing would have, like, trapped themselves in that room for one reason or another. I don't know. I feel like we need to look around for any kind of, like, I don't know, blood magic? Necromancy? Something's fucky. That's all I can tell you.
Hmm. Okay. Out of character. When we were in the bottom left room, what are these? Those scattered pebbles on the ground? Are those just pieces of like the wall that were dislodged as
Yeah.
part of the cave?
Yeah,
Okay.
that just seems to be debris.
Got it. Okay.
That was my assumption.
And the second question I have is the magic circles that are broken. Do they look like they broke kind of cleanly, or does it look more like someone smashed them, like they appear there?
Definitely looks like someone has gone at them.
I see. Okay. Let's see.
Like those bits of toffee you hit with a hammer.
Mm.
I think I know what I want to do, but B's gonna come in first, and after everyone else has already kind of looked around a bit. Let's see.
Given that this area was specifically blocked off, I'm going to make the assumption that it was blocked off because this is the area that whoever robbed the graves before didn't want anybody going into specifically. as I'm going to begin searching the bodies, like patting down the raiments or whatever, for any hidden objects that are in the corpses.
Sure.
I would
I'm,
like.
I'm,
Oh, sorry, carry on.
roll me a
I'm
perception.
gonna start with this one and work my way around like counterclockwise.
Sure.
Perception check. No.
These bodies don't seem quite as dusty. They're old. They're real old. But they
Like they've
aren't-
been recently searched.
Maybe searched, yeah.
I'm gonna stand in the middle and cast detect magic. See if I get anything in the room.
So you don't get anything in particular, but it kind of feels like there was probably something magical here previously.
Okay.
Probably towards the top of the room, which isn't really a surprise because there's a broken magic circle up there.
So B is going to be looking around the structure of the room rather than anything specific in it, and she's gonna. It looks like she has an idea, and she says to Chris, "Chris, can you come with me for a second?"
Yeah, sure. What did he like looks at looks at B's
She
face.
does
It's like,
not-
what are
she
you
does not-
thinking?
And on the way out, she's just gonna start going towards the southwest room, and she says, "Well, it looks like they were pretty they made this place in a certain pattern, and all the rooms we've gone to so far have had one of those circles, magic circles in it. So I was just thinking, this one's blocked off, but there should be
Right.
one here too if it holds the pattern."
Well, yeah, it should be under, and he points at the giant pile of rock.
Right, and then she says, "Right, but what if the cave-in didn't reach all the way over there and it's still intact on the other side?"
Then, okay, what would you want to do?
And she shrugs and says, "I don't know, but just to see if that might be the case first."
I mean, what if it's just an illusion and it's not a real rockfall? And he walks up and like taps on the wall.
God, there's something about disbelieving illusions.
Yep. Well, it's a will save, I believe.
Is it a will save? Okay, do me a will save.
Okay. Oh my god! I swear to Christ.
I sort of
Disbelieving
suspected that as
illusions.
well, but mostly out of character rather than in
Okay.
character.
22.
You touch rock.
Okay. He walks up, smacks the wall, like hits his hand on it, and like, when you're like, and he shakes it. And he's like, man, that would have been so cool.
And she shrugs again and she just shakes her head with a smile on her face. But can she ask Chris to detect magic here?
Oh, that would make more sense.
Yeah,
rather
that's
than,
what she was asking.
hitting the giant pile of rubble. Yeah, he casts it, like he says it out loud and then casts detect magic.
Sure. Let me check exactly what that gives you.
Presence of magic, that's
This is
all.
literally just the presence of magic. Okay, so
It does seem to ignore walls, though, so...
Yeah,
So-
it's just like a pulse.
you can. You have so it almost feels like the remnants of wild magic. Like it's there, but it's not structured properly.
Okay.
There is something definitely going on where you would expect that magic circle to be.
I see. Did that feel the same as the other one that he detected magic on in the top right, in the northeast room?
No, they were fucked. That was like an echo of
That one was-
echo of decent
Sure.
magic.
This one, there's something else going on, but it's also behind a cave-in.
It
But-
turns back to B and it's like, I don't know, you're the elementalist. Can you do rock shaping?
She's going to take a wider stance, hold out both of her arms, and like furrow her brow, and looks like she's concentrating. And after a few seconds, she heaves out a breath, stands up straight, and says, "Nope." And then I work with water.
Roll me a primal or a nature. Sorry, roll me a nature.
Sure.
When you work with water,
The
why
idea
don't
that
you
Chris
just
like sees her do that and starts backing up.
It's a
You
very
work
dry
with-
rock.
you work with water, just erode the rock.
Oh yeah, no, we have about 4,000 years to cut through this
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Shit,
She-
though.
she
On
can-
how,
she
what
can
sort of
repeatedly-
pressure of water we can get.
Yeah,
tulip.
you can repeatedly cast
Yeah.
produce water and
Tulip,
make it wet.
what's going on up there?
I was just curious. I think there was mention of a tunnel entry here somewhere.
It was over here, and it's
Ah.
all webby and gross and too small for a medium-sized individual to comfortably fit.
Zega.
Is
Especially-
is a medium-sized individual.
Aw, sadness.
Zigga would probably have a better chance than you.
I mean, I could theoretically squeeze in there, but then like, I think I probably could actually mechanically squeeze in there. But like I don't see the objective there. It's not it's not relevant to our mission, I don't think.
So probably not very comfortable.
I don't know. I just thought maybe it might be an alternate way to get behind this bullshit.
I think it probably leads outside rather than anywhere else.
Yeah, that's what we established, right? That it just leads outside.
It probably, yeah, that would be your assumption.
B is going to start
Hmm.
looking around this room to see if there's any way, or easy way around the cave-in, or if it seems very solid indeed.
It's pretty solid and very established. This cave-in is old.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I have an idea. So,
Oh.
so one of the little gribblies that I can summon is called a mitflit.
God, I'm gonna have
And
to
it
look
I think
this
you might
up
be
can,
near
now.
that. Yeah,
it
let's
has
look at it
it has vermin empathy, and it can ask like insects and stuff questions. So I was wondering whether it would be worth like summoning it, and then maybe the insects here could tell it what's been going on, and like I
Are
don't know,
we
we
good?
could actually find out what's happened.
We're going to tell the newly orphaned spiderlings to go do stuff for us.
I mean, no,
Says
I'm not
all-
asking them to do things.
It says arthropods only is they speak with animals.
Yeah,
It says
insect,
things
spider.
of-
Actually, I guess no,
No, it
vermin
doesn't. It
empathy.
says insects, spiders, scorpions, yada 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 yada.
Yeah, arthropods.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it includes insects. Yeah.
I don't know. We could do that? Question mark.
I mean, yeah, we could talk to some orphan spiders.
Some sporfins.
That sounds like a
I was trying.
mushroom.
I was trying to
Yeah.
think of something better, but there's nothing.
Widows and orphans.
Oh, eaters? Yeah.
I mean,
Orbiters?
if nothing else, Chris is kind of like looking around, and he eventually goes, "Do you think that they already nicked it?"
And she says, "If I'm trying, I hope not. So I'm hoping it's over there. But otherwise, I don't." She
But
shrugs. her
like,
head.
didn't they say it would be on the dais? With any like points towards the massive fucking dais in the other room.
I'm gonna say in character, it's probably difficult for B to tell how old a cave-in is because that seems difficult. So she's just gonna say it could be that this cave-in happened after the. Maybe something happened. It started floating around and it went down here, and then the cave-in happened. And she says, "I don't know."
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. That seems less likely than whoever the heck was here before us walked in, picked up what we wanted, and left.
She says, "I agree with you, but if that happened, then we can't do anything else. So it's
I mean, we could try and
exploring."
find the people who left.
Well, it looks like they were here a while ago, so if they did leave, they
Does it? Isn't the campfire outside relatively new? Haven't they, been here recently?
Recent being like a couple of days.
Yeah, we could try and track them. It's more useful than trying to dig at several hundred tons of rock.
Well, we don't have to try that. Just see if there's any other way around it.
Tulip's bouncing around a lot. What's Tulip up to?
Oh, I'm just wondering if the lack of bodies in this room is deliberate or just a map thing. Because this is the only room that has like some tables or body holders. I can't think today.
Those are the
You get what
skeletons.
I'm saying.
Sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is curious because like I'm searching this room of these bodies. I've been slowly moving Zigger around to stimulate him like thoroughly searching each body because this room was blocked off. But then there's also this room being the unusual one. This is the one that they actually took the bodies and just dumped them outside. And there's a reason for that. We don't know what that reason is, but there is a reason why these bodies are the ones that got picked up and carried outside and just dumped on the ground. So I mean, between these two rooms, there's got to be something here we're missing.
Can I roll perception, Tom?
You can. What are you trying to perceive specifically?
I just want to see if there's anything in particular that's different about these sarcophagi.
The bodies have definitely been dragged off of them, and seemingly without a whole lot of care. You can probably find a leg or two that's broken off.
Is there anything different about the bodies in this room? Like, are they... Like, can we note anything like fancier clothes or anything that might indicate if there's a reason?
Nothing in particular, aside from, as Zigger is finding in the top room, these bodies are actually, like, bound to the rock. Like, those straps that you see going across the image there, that's actually, like almost rebar that's been hammered into the rock.
So somebody didn't want them getting up or taken.
In line with what you know about the Zikarites' fear of undeath.
Ah.
But these ones, they have been uplifted.
Like the rebar equivalent has been just like pried off? Or...
Yes, it looks like it.
Okay.
So maybe somebody wants to raise these boys to do something in particular? Maybe they grabbed them and raised them in a panic to deal with the spider boy? Because the spider boy sealed himself away, and then somebody sealed the other hallway across from it.
The spider guy wasn't sealed away. He just made webs in the corridor.
Well, that's
And
what I'm saying.
presumably
is,
he can.
like,
Yeah, but he can move through webs. He's a spider.
Well, but he was maybe trying to protect himself.
From the
because other people can't
madman who
use
came in and
weapons.
tried to stab him, probably.
I think we need to go back outside and take another look. This is silly.
Yeah, Bee's actually going to follow Tulip, but separately, because she's going to be looking at the walls to see if there's any like weak points they could maybe get into the room through. And failing that, she's going to go outside and see if there's any way in there from the outside.
Sure. It's a little misplaced in places as the earth has shifted over the years, but it looks pretty solid still.
Got it. Okay.
Zigger,
But now I was going to wander outside.
You are failing to find anything valuable on any of these bodies. They just seem to be naked skeletons wrapped in sheets, strapped to the rocks.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, after Zigga's finished searching the last one, he'll come back out into the main corridor. Zigga's gonna go up here and start searching this wall for any potential like hidden secret doors or anything like that within the north wall of this room.
Sure, perception. Okay. You don't find any secret walls or switches or doors or windows or cubbies or anything. It's a bit more decorative than the rest of the walls, but there's nothing particularly fancy going on specifically there.
Okay.
Out of character, in case we just missed the most obvious explanation, those sparklies on the dais. I think Amber had asked, if I remember correctly, if those look like pieces of the crystal that the guy had in his office. If that's the case, does it seem possible that they just smashed into little tiny pieces, and what we're seeing over the dais is what we're looking for?
So your understanding of what the runestone would be is not crystalline. It is literally a rock with a rune on it.
Okay. So it's okay. It was thing that was set into the not the crystal stuff. Okay, got it. Right.
I mean, okay. I can't see that there's anything else to do in there. So Chris would wander out into the campsite and like start looking for tracks or signs of, where the other people might have gone.
Sure. Is Zigga done in the crypt?
I suppose I am. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll come outside with the rest of them.
We will go back here then.
And I suppose for me that's a survival check.
yes. It is literally the track action.
Yeah.
Let me have a look here.
Can we all do survival?
Yeah, if you want.
Zigga
I
will
just like the
decidedly not help.
Tulip does not
Less
savant
tea,
this
mess
one.
things up.
No.
Nope.
Oh no. So you don't see anything particularly obvious, but for the kind of like almost muddy trail of people having gone up and down this little depression. And if you tried really fucking hard, you might be able to follow that for a bit. But that wouldn't necessarily get you to where you need to be.
Zigga's gonna just take a look over the bones real quick, picking each one of them up and putting them down. I'm just gonna see if there's any indentations in any of the bones for like a weight of a rock, say for instance a runestone, that was placed in one inside one of the bodies and wore up against the skeleton for an extended period of time.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And even if there were, you're not sure that there would be particular evidence of it. They've just kind of been sat there for a millennia.
Can we just keep checking in different areas?
I mean, this is the point where it sort of gets to be, given an extended period of time, will we just manage it? Like, do we actually need to check? Like, so assuming I have enough time, I will almost certainly find the answer, be it over the course of a couple of hours, in terms of a survival check, right? Like, because effectively, I think I can just make a survival check once every like 5 minutes or whatever the fuck, and I'm on a +5.
True.
So can I just like survival my way into wherever the hell this muddy trail might lead me?
Yes. Okay. So it'll take you a little bit of time to find the specific signs that you're looking for, but eventually you will find a trail to follow.
Sure.
And it will take you further to the north and the east.
Yep. So
Like
just
up
just as a general thing, I won't interfere with how you decide to rule this one, Fish. But there are some checks that are not retryable. Survival checks to track, I believe, are one of them. Like if you do it,
okay.
it's not a matter of time. It's just you have failed to be able to find the person.
The failure is you lose the trail, but can try again after an hour.
I see. So it's not like you can try every 5 minutes or every minute or every round kind of thing. It's not all checks are equal in that way.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, fine. We find that. I mean, if you want to rule it differently, then maybe I get some idea they might have gone north, but I have no idea. Like it's like, I don't
Just
know.
like I was saying.
I mean, we'll just throw an hour delay on it. It's probably early afternoon by this point.
All right.
You have no way of knowing how far that trail will lead.
We don't have any other leads, so we might as well.
Yeah. B will look out the outside, see if the cave-in has caused any weakness in, I guess, the roof, where the roof would be of that room. But otherwise, I'm assuming no, and that seems to be our next best.
I guess sometime in the hour, the interim hour, Ziga would attempt to grab Tulip or something like that while the others are doing their own thing, and look for the exterior entrance to that hole that we found. That we think leads out where the spiders were coming out, and look and see if
Sure.
we can find it.
Give me a fuck.
Perception?
I guess it's technically another track, isn't it? Kinda.
Possibly, or perception, I think, would also fit in this one.
Yeah, either one.
Okay, that works.
Okay. You don't find an exit for that particular tunnel. Could you give me a nature?
Both of us?
Yeah. Okay. So Zigger isn't a big old nature boy, but he knows that spiders generally don't need massive tunnels. The likelihood is that in that
Tapers off.
in that one, yeah, it tapered off and branched out into many places. And
Gotcha.
there's something of a tiny spider network in the area that was being headed by that web lurker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we're just waiting around until we can try again on the survival.
Okay.
I think the assumption is that the survival like pseudo worked since we've been
Yeah.
told which direction
Yeah.
it is.
Yes. Okay. So, I guess we go to here. You are currently somewhere around there.
Yep.
And the trail will continue to the northeast, almost to the border, and you get to about
Speaking
here.
of the border,
Yes.
what is the border?
How do you mean?
What is
Like,
the border, I guess?
I guess because since there's not like a mountain range or any sort of artificial barrier, what is this?
That would be another country that I have not yet named, or another state of some description.
Okay, are the whatever it is, how are they currently at war or anything like that?
No, it's like cold peace, I guess. Like there's a bit of trade between them, but Cunavitum is relatively not insular or isolationist necessarily, but they deal with their own affairs.
Looking at the map, am I correct in assuming that blue line is actually a river?
It is, and
So that's where it's more, basically.
the state that you're in would say that the border is past the river.
I see.
But how well enforced that is, and what the other people on the other side would say, maybe a bit more up for debate.
Right. So probably treat the river as the border.
That would be the safest way to go. Yeah.
I did think it was kind of interesting that the region has multiple lakes, but no rivers feeding into said lakes or out of the lakes.
Yes.
The bottom one has rivers.
Yeah, the bottom one does.
Okay. So it is fast getting dark.
Well, what we've tracked them to the river, and presumably it goes straight into the river.
It seems to be following the river along a bit. If anything, slightly to the west at this point.
Okay. Well, we can keep following it then.
In the darkness.
I don't know about you, but I'm supposed to be the one tracking, and I don't have dark vision. We could use the torch, but we might just want to camp.
It's been a long day. Even if we could technically, like mechanically, keep going, B would probably suggest we call it, because I don't think she had that much faith in being able to track them anyway. Even if we are following something at the moment.
Yeah, may as well.
Okay. So camp time?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, set up camp for the night. How are you going to do that?
In what sense?
Do you have tents? Are you going to start a watch? Are you going to just kind of hang out in the woods? By a river?
Have a second Halloween party.
Yeah.
So I believe, I don't know about everyone else, but I think I have a tent. And then the other thing is
I
just,
think it comes in the adventuring gear. I'm not entirely
yeah,
sure.
if you
Yeah.
just bought a gear kit, I think it does.
Yeah, so I have everything I need to go camping, essentially.
Cool.
And then I can, if I really have to, I think prestidigitation my way through most of the camping chores.
Mhm.
I can cook, tidy, create a temp. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
most of it with prestidigitation.
Pretty handy spell, that one.
Yeah.
I don't know how we would have usually done this in character, but maybe out of character, 2 shifts of 2 people for watch.
Oh, yeah, that's likely correct. Yeah.
That's fair. Tulip will, because she's Tulip, offer to take the first watch. Also, she'll probably cook. I'm making that her thing.
Sure.
I
Okay,
think
I'll stay with Tulip.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and then second watch is Chris
Chris
and
and
B. Okay.
I like how there's multiple ways to kind of split up the party and have it still make sense.
Yes.
Like if it
How do you
were
mean?
like if it were B and Tulip, it would be sisters and then brothers bonding. If it's like this and it's Ziga, Tulip, then B and Chris, then it's the older and younger generation kind of thing.
And
Yep.
also Martial Nerd split that
Yeah.
way.
I just thought it was interesting.
Chad Nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd Chad. Yep. we are the nerds.
Okay, so the first watch goes fairly uneventfully. But halfway through the second watch,
Oh no.
you hear twigs snapping, and something is approaching.
Who's
Okay.
that Pokemon? Anyway.
So if we hear that, B is going to. Can we tell what direction it's coming from roughly?
The way you came.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, in any case, B is going to cast the cantrip Dancing Lights, which is basically 4 floating torches. Range is 120 feet. So she'll cast them in sort of like a box to cover as much ground as possible,
Sure.
and in that direction.
Oops. Sure. You catch sight just about of some figures in the darkness, but they quickly dart away from the lights and into the...
Were they humanoid?
Humanoid would be an accurate description, yes.
Okay. It would probably be reasonable, even if they haven't figured out what they are, to wake the others too. Because
Yes, I would agree.
yeah, kind of
Sure.
sus.
So, you're gonna wake them up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably B is gonna stay outside. They already know that we spotted them because B's cast a spell, so she's just gonna talk loudly at the other 2.
Sure.
And if Chris wants to go actually physically wake them up, that's fine too.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, you are all at this point awake, probably a little groggy, but aware that something is soon to be upon you.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Bear with me. This has gone slightly sideways on me, so I am very rapidly making a small battle arena. That's fine.
Tom's like, why did they leave the crypt? I
Shit.
don't understand.
It didn't quite go according to plan.
We missed something. I knew it.
I know. I was looking at it, I was like, I must be being stupid.
I don't know if we failed to do something that we should do, or we failed to roll the proper rolls in there.
No, I failed to account for the party splitting up at the end of the investigation and then trickling out. I should have done a thing prior to that, and I
see.
failed to jump in time.
Wait, did we legitimately miss something?
There was something missed, but it wasn't significant. You
Sure enough.
pretty much got all of the information you needed.
There.
Okay.
Bear
Maybe
with
an
me.
M or trap of some kind.
No, don't add 2,048 cells to the grid. That would be nightmare. For the love of God.
It's a lot of cells.
That's a lot of cells. Upload. Choose file.
Are they all
Not
powered
that many. We're made of billions of them, so I'm told.
God. Are they all powered by mitochondria?
The powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, that's the one.
I would imagine so. Otherwise, why is it called that?
Oh yeah, you would think so. Does that mean that Roll20 is powered by mitochondria?
Nah, it's powered by Duracell.
Okay.
Incredible.
Not the Energizer Bunny?
Yep, the bunny. It's running in its little whatever it's called.
Wheel.
You
Thing.
hear,
Wheel.
you,
Thank you.
you hear an ominous drumming in the distance.
Why?
The Energizer Bunny. Actually, do you have Energizer where you are?
Yeah, we have Energizer.
Then you should be familiar with the Energizer
We've
Bunny.
had batteries for a while, I'll have you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't
Oh,
bought
no,
a
I mean the
battery
specific
in like a
brand. I didn't know if it
I
was like.
No, I'm memeing. It's,
Right.
we're not that backwards, no matter what Boris Johnson makes it seem like.
My God,
I don't
please.
think I've bought a battery in like over a decade.
Agreed.
I haven't had a
yes.
battery powered object in a long time.
I mean, technically, laptops and phones are battery empowered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but they're
I have an
rechargeable.
Xbox
I
360 controller. The fuck?
I don't have a game console. I'm a PC Master Race.
PC Master Race, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Man, I really should have just put some tents on this rather than drawing them on.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
That's
This is
okay.
way funnier.
This is way funnier. Let's do this. This is pleasantly scuffed. Okay. Okay.
That expectation is low for the future.
Yes.
In case it never has to happen again.
So we had B and Chris, I think it was on watch,
Yep.
and Zigger and Tulip in tents.
There are
Do I
three
get my
tents
health
for 4
back
people.
from sleeping or no?
On mod times level. So
Yeah, con
3.
mod by level.
Although that's potentially halved for bad rest, which this may or may
Which
not
this
be.
would count as because you only
Yeah.
got. Well, you did the first shift, so you probably only got about 2 hours sleep. If we're
Yeah.
honest.
So 1 health.
1 health.
Yeah.
One. You recover 1 health.
Okay.
Juan.
Right. So where were we before I had to whip this majestic piece up?
People in
We
the
cast
south-
got dancing lights, and some humanoids were near us.
Yes.
or no, to the east, I guess. Since we
Yes.
follow the river.
So they have currently scattered out into the woods.
It's not very
And
nice of
then
them.
B was yelling. Well, B was talking authoritatively to get us awake, I think. So Tulip's awake.
Okay. They do not appear to be immediately aggressing on you.
All right. B is not going to assume that they immediately want to try to kill us, and so she's going to yell out loudly, "Who are you and what do you want?"
It's all very quiet.
Man, why doesn't that ever work? Says Chris.
It never does.
Uh-huh.
Never.
Zigga is going to take this opportunity to not leave the tent and get all of his equipment together and everything like that.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, because Tulip's just in her like pajamas with her fucking sword, and that's it. I don't even think she has shoes on right now.
Let's see. What's the distance here that I've arbitrarily created? Okay. They're still out there.
Sure. B will probably still be sustaining the dancing lights, and so they'll be they have to be 10 feet from each other, so they're going to be something like this, this, and this, and she's just gonna kind of rotate them around like a brick breaker paddle, like around the general area they were in, kind of thing. Just like rotate her.
Sheds light like a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Within 10 feet of each other. Okay, sure. You can definitely catch glimpses of something moving around, but they are trying to avoid that light as best they can.
Okay.
You feel like you're being stalked.
Stalked, yeah. Let's see, languages. Seems unlikely, but she'll try and... So she's initially spoken Common, she'll try and Halfling, just in case, but unlikely.
Mm-hmm. Which is just Common in a West Country accent.
Oh, okay, well, then in that case, then she probably doesn't bother. Oh my god.
Chris like scratches his head and just sort of goes, I mean, if we're trying other languages, and then he'll say basically, he'll call out with the "Hello, what do you want?" essentially in every language he knows.
Where are those lights right now?
They're actually probably farther because it has a control radius of actually maybe not that much farther.
120 foot, 60 foot movement per. I believe.
So they can sweep pretty fast, I think. Around.
I'm sorry.
You got it on. We get it in Celestial, Common, Elven, Gnomish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we just watching Chris scream in various like?
He's speaking in tongues. Yep.
Sure. The lights will probably actually be in more like they'll be in a line pointing away from her, and she'll be using it to sweep like across the trees.
Sure.
So like a comb.
Where are they currently? Pick a place.
I would say she's gonna start with the trees closest to them, and then she's gonna be swinging them at 60 foot around, like up until her control range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but where are they right now?
Where are they right now?
Okay, let me redraw them then. Let's see. The map only goes up to here, but let's see. These are the first two, and then two more continuing
Beyond
like that
it.
further.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as Chris is yelling into the void, a javelin streaks out of the trees to the north towards B.
Okay. Savages. That hits.
That does hit.
Ow.
Ow.
And as that hits, we see streaking out of the woods. Not literally streaking, they are closed.
Aw.
Instantly popped out to my mind.
Are a number of baddies. They have been following you for an unknown length of time.
Those decidedly seem like orcs.
They do decidedly seem like orcs. Not that you
It
can
also
tell that particularly well.
Give us the initiative. Let's go.
Boo.
Does anyone here speak Orcish?
No.
No.
I may have already checked that.
There was never any room for negotiation.
What am I doing? That
Negotiation was never an option.
That
That's
one.
the one. I was trying to remember what the quote was.
That one. For the sake of expediency, the ones that are similar will go on the same turn.
God.
They got a 25.
Oh no.
Rude.
Also,
I
they
got a
don't have
24 and a
names.
25.
Which
might
one
have
threw the javelin? Which one threw the javelin?
This one.
B might actually be screwed.
Question: we usually wrap up in 20 minutes. Do we want to stop now, or do we want to try to push all the way through the fight?
Does anyone have anywhere they need to be?
No.
I don't have any extreme obligations. I usually start another game with somebody else at 1, and I like to have like a little bit of a break between that because I'd feed the kiddo lunch and everything like that. But I can push on if people wanted to.
My intention was to stop immediately after this fight, essentially. So, if people want to continue,
Maybe we just see how far we get.
we can stop in the middle of the combat.
Yeah.
I think we're good at combats. We can do it fast.
Okay.
For a beat.
We'll give it a go. If
We'll
if
give
you
it a go.
desperately need to go, Mag, then just say something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This boy is, I think. Oh, did I put his movement in? I should have done. I'm fairly sure they have 25. Is going to move up to B.
Oh no.
And is going to fucking do that.
That hits.
Oh.
Holy shit! Is that crit? Does that crit you?
No, I have 16 AC. Just
Woo! Not even close.
then
Because I'm pretty sure that crit made you dead.
And then do that and not.
Yeah, and miss like a bitch. Yep.
This guy is going to move up to B
Oh no.
Oh no!
and do that.
F.
In the hopes of self-preservation, I'm assuming he can't go through the tent. Does he have enough movement to get there?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot that the tent was there.
I suspect that will still happen, but you
yeah,
know,
he can get to here.
got it.
He only gets one attack though, right? Like, he doesn't get
no.
to do anything else.
That was one
Oh,
movement.
okay.
That actually downs B anyway because of the javelin from earlier.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And that's their turn. Orc Warrior. Lovely. One will move to here. And it's actually the Orc Brute because I did it wrong. Whack Tulip. And fail probably.
Yep.
And then whack Tulip again.
And deal 4
Deal
damages.
4 damages.
Okay.
And the other one will move to here, not stand on the campfire, because that's meant to be a campfire. And then hit Tulip.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And
is
then-
that down?
And then attack Tulip again.
I think that. Oh, this.
How much? I'm sorry. How much damage did I just take?
13.
What's your
Cool.
AC?
Actually,
No,
does the second one
does
hit?
16 hit you? What's your AC?
17.
No, so you take 8.
Oh no, so you took 8.
Ah, fuck, I forgot what I was
Plus,
at.
plus 5 and you'll be fine. Well, you won't be fine, you're very ill, but...
Oh, really? You don't say.
Okay, Tulip. You just saw B fucking get bodied by 2 men with large swords.
I recommend raging and kicking the shit out of the person in front of you.
That's the plan. I'm going to rage, and then I guess I'm going to swing my bastard sword at the guy directly in front of me.
Yep. That will hit. That will... Which
14?
one are they? Those are that one.
Will that crit?
That will crit.
Oh wow.
Does he fall the fuck over?
Yeah, that guy falls the fuck over.
Bisected?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, just
Now hit the other bastard.
very ill.
It's called a bastard sword because you hit bastards with it.
That will just about hit, yes.
So 12, I guess, with the rage damage.
Oh yeah, the rage damage. Cool. Chris.
Let me think here.
Oh god, these guys all have the wrong fucking names.
B was the only one with a heal spell, wasn't she?
Yeah, I'm carrying a healing potion.
Oh, dear.
Out of character, since we went to bed, I think it's probably not unusual for casters to like use some spell slots before bed, kind of thing. Would it be reasonable for her to have healed Tulip once before going to bed with one of her 2 remaining spell slots?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably a good idea.
So then I guess I don't know how much health you were missing from last time. I think 7 because you healed 1 from resting.
Yeah, I think you basically will end up with +7. So you have 7 more health, I think.
Does or B does?
Tulip.
Oh, okay, cool.
B was already at full.
Yeah.
So I have a question, OC, for the party. I can either summon a Fae and hope that's helpful, or I can deja vu like this fucker, and then he essentially ends up running off into the middle distance and like attacking thin air. I don't know what's better.
That second one might be good. It'll keep
Did-
him.
If you deja vu this guy, not only will he run off into the middle distance, but he'll run off into the middle distance through the campfire and might take a little bit of fire damage.
All right,
I'll
sure.
go like
I'll
that for
try
this
that,
one.
Tom. He's making a will save.
Sure. He is this guy. He is doing one of them.
Oh
I
my
think he
god.
succeeds.
Yeah. At which point I'm gonna back the fuck up. You'll go.
Wise. Okay, and then the big boss in the back here.
Oh no, the Orc Daddy.
The Orc Daddy.
Daddy of all orcs.
He is gonna move to, I think, here. And then move to, I think, here.
Oh no.
And he is going to do... Ooh. Yeah.
Philip does
That
not
to do
appreciate
with.
this.
That
Gross.
does 20 damage, because that's gonna crit.
That's gross.
I'm dead, aren't I? Oh shit.
You're on the floor, yes.
You have some rage temp HP if you haven't already used that.
How much?
yeah.
What's your current health?
14.
That's
So
not
no.
enough rage. Yeah, you're down.
Okay.
Do you know, I get the impression we're maybe not meant to win this fight.
We might be getting kidnapped into a different country. That's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I'm getting. Anyway, what's
I'm just
Zigga
wondering.
doing?
Well, that's the thing. Is like Chris has moved away, and there's no way Zigga's going out there into the group just wildly swinging and hoping for the best. I'm thinking the only thing that we can do at this point is retreat and hope that we can come and get y'all later if they don't like actively kill you. But there's like no way that I can.
He would probably
Yeah.
want you to run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zigga is gonna stick with Chris and leave and try to come back for you. Like I'll make it to the tree line and hide and try to keep an eye on like I'll make it to the tree line and specifically I'll start circling around over here so I can keep an eye on what's being done to y'all.
Are you trying to do that without being seen?
Yes.
Stealth check, please.
I'm moving past Chris and giving some sort of signal that I'm going to try to keep an eye on what's going on.
Yeah, we get.
Yeah,
he
I'm
gets
with you.
what you're trying to
I'm
do.
with you.
That's pretty good.
Okay. B is down.
Okay, so death roll was a flat d20, I think.
Yes.
Unless they're nice people and force feed some potions, but I think that's unlikely.
I think that's a success.
Yes.
Warrior Boy is going to... Oh no. Walk up on Chris.
No.
Can he actually see me? It is dark.
Oh yeah, they have dark vision.
Okay. Can he see me past the tent?
I moved here
Like
because
he's
this is the edge
here,
of the map.
I'm over
but
here. Can he actually see me?
Oh, that's the wrong tool.
Just a point
Yes.
of clarification. I moved here because this is the edge of the map,
From
but I'm not
here.
actually here.
Understood. Understood.
Okay.
Or like this? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Which one was he? He was this one. Boom.
Miss?
Really?
Oh no, AC 14. Yeah, that'll hit me. Just. Okay, I
And
take some damage.
this guy has seen his buddy run off over there and has run out of people to hit, so he will follow. Oh no!
F in the chat.
F in the chat.
Look, I've never been the kind of person to accuse like fucking NPCs of hacks, but
this
come on.
is one of those early game cutscenes.
I think that probably downs Chris.
Really?
Okay, so Zigga.
Tabit's like stood on his chest, like hissing at them.
Oh no,
Ziga
really?
is going.
But it's not,
It's
she's not
yet.
going to be happy. She's probably going to hiss at them and then like leave into the trees.
Yeah,
She's
disappear
a cat.
for a bit. Yeah.
Leave her alone.
I'm not going to leave the party, but I am going to stay on the sidelines and watch and
Okay.
actively avoid them. I have dark vision and I have good sneaking. I feel like I can get away with this.
Can you do me one more stealth because they're going to check the area for people who ran away?
Oh no. No!
No.
Come on!
I can't roll good to save my life.
Nor can I.
I'm sorry about that. So they have they are quickly closing on your location.
I mean, like short of them actively attempting to coordinate and surround me, I don't see a particular reason why I can't just continually avoid them.
You can
And
probably run.
constantly-
It just means you probably can't stay in the area to watch.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I just run, I feel like I can
You
use
know
a
what?
natural.
You know what?
Stealth.
What we'll do is that. I think that misses.
Yeah, that
That does
misses me.
miss.
So with that
Tremendously.
deception, they try to throw a javelin at you as you dodge past them, but they did in fact fail. The javelin embedding itself in the tree behind you. Eventually, they reckon they probably scared you off and give up.
Yeah, and Ziga will just continually come back to the camp in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets spotted again for whatever reason, he'll keep coming back to the camp, and just if he sees any of the orcs ever by themselves, he's gonna try to take them out. But except for the leader.
Yeah. No, they're working in pairs. They're not. I mean, they're not masterminds, but they're not dumb. And what you see is actually quite interesting. They seem to be forcing potions down the necks of your compatriots. And that seems to be going fine. And then they're tying them up in a neat little bundle and kind of cramming the tents into a neat little bundle and roughly tying that up and picking everything and everyone up and fucking leaving together.
Oh, they're awfully nice. They took our stuff for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So civilized.
All right, well Ziga's gonna stalk him.
Okay. And, okay, so everyone who is unconscious, could you do me a fort save, please?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If this were a different medium, I would say that this sounds awfully. This feels awfully like the.
Holy
start to
balls!
That was a really good fort save.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I can roll it when I. Man, why did they have to pass the will save? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris is the first to wake, and indeed you are being carried roughly by an orc. You find yourself uncomfortably but securely bound. You have been stripped of your gear and most of your clothes. But oddly, aside from a number of bruises, you actually seem to be very intact. Despite the several large blades that were embedded in your torso. The meanest, nastiest, biggest looking orc seems to be carrying most of your stuff, and they're speaking between themselves in a language none of you understand.
Two things. Do I understand the language to be Orcish?
Yes.
I would think that would be because I mean it's
Yeah.
not an uncivilized language or
No,
whatever.
Yeah.
And the other question
it's some form
is,
of language.
are they carrying the dead body of their compatriot?
Their compatriot is actually very unhappily walking along next to them, having also been fed a potion.
Oh, so he wasn't
well
dead.
funded. No,
aw.
they're very well funded, apparently.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So he's alive. Okay.
He is alive.
Alright.
He is the only one not carrying anything. And that's probably because he just got fucking bodied.
Yes.
But he's also looking very sad, and the others are giving him a bit of a hard time because he fucked up and got killed.
You got downed by a human.
Yeah, pretty much.
Down by a little girl.
Well, little is maybe pushing it, but
Well, I mean, for them, not that much.
I guess so. Yeah, orcs are pretty. What's their average height in this? Like 7 foot or?
They're big boys.
Oh yeah, many orcs top 7 feet. Okay,
Mm.
fair enough.
Okay. So while I'm being carried along, can I like spot Tabit's like eyes in the dark or whatever up in a tree at all? I assume she's following us.
I'd like to think that she's actually willing to tolerate Ziga's presence and be with Ziga for the time being.
Possibly, but like I'm awake and they don't know I'm awake.
Let
Oh.
me
They know that
do.
you're
Let me
awake.
do that. Okay, she's nearby.
Sure.
You've kind of got like almost a sixth sense for these things. She's nearby.
I think you can just like talk to your familiar in your head. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know how this works. Do you have like limited telepathy with your familiar?
I think distance telepathy is one of the things you can give them.
Well, technically, I've had a rest.
You have
question
not
mark.
had a rest.
You had a forcibly sleeping period.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. I'll leave it at that. If she's following along, then I can do some shenanigans later.
Yeah. And that, I think, is where we will leave it.
Sounds good. I suspect this was not planned because of the map situation.
Everything
so...
other than the combat occurring on a random scuffed map was planned. Originally, you were meant to fight them in the crypt, but I fucked it up.
Okay, got it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's good.
Cackled. He's like,
And
He told you all to be careful.
and
She
yeah,
knew it.
Yes, to be clear, you were not supposed to win that encounter.
What happens if we do win that encounter just on sheer luck?
I don't fucking know. There was no chance of it. Are you kidding me?
Well, you could have rolled 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, etc.
Nah, the likelihood of that is too low.
We take all of their like 20 healing potions and probably other very valuable gear, and we.
Oh, if you'd won, they wouldn't have had any.
Okay, of course.
Oh, come on, nothing.
They
If
were-
we'd
they were-
won, it would have been a fucking miracle.
Yeah,
Tom. They have to have
they have
something on
some gear, but I'm not going to give you 12 fucking healing potions. That's going to ruin my combat balance for the next 3 months.
I feel like even if we
Let's
had
still
one
pass
daddy
level
orc would
4
have
and we're good.
stepped in and clapped us on the back of the heads, knocking us out instantly, been like, alright, knock it off, y'all. Playtime's over. Come on.
I'm pretty sure that leader is meant to be like a minimum level 5 or so.
Level 3, I believe. No, actually, no,
Oh,
level
okay.
2, I think.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind.
Most of the things that you fought so far have been level 1 or level 0.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I mean, that orc has a +10 on his attack.
He does, yes.
Mhm.
Look, I'm just gonna be proud I bodied one of them. That's my
Yeah,
small
no,
victory
fair enough.
this week.
The web boy was level 3 but weak, and there was only one of him, so you had the action economy on him. So
Yeah, this one was.
that was always planned to be like a little mini boss fight.
And this one is 5, and they did get the jump on us because of the initiatives and positioning.
Yep.
So perfectly reasonable.
Yep,
Alright,
yep,
Blake,
yep,
on
yep.
Just cleaved you with the fucking javelin from down court.
from downtown.
He literally, like, I can't remember what movie it was, but it was literally the scenario where Jim Carrey gets speared in the knee twice.
But I think
with
if
Yeah.
there's anything important, we might want to say it and have Mag can go to his next game. If not, then we'll just I guess stick around for small talk after. If you want to.
I can
Anything
stick around for small talk a little bit longer. I thought that was going to go on for like an actual combat length rather than a massacre.
Yeah.
Oh,
that-
so I think-
Alright, she kicked in.
Fair enough.
Fish was like, nope, we don't need to stop. This will be fine.
It's
we
fine,
don't-
yeah.
we don't-
I knew that was only going to be a couple of rounds. In all
But have
likelihood.
you considered falling the fuck over everyone? Because that's what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Look, I killed a man. I feel like I have accomplished what I am here to do.
I was very tempted to use all 3 of my actions to fuck off. Like, not cast a spell, not do it, like, nope. Because I watched them just immediately, like, wreck B and was like, oh, I think we lose. Like,
Yeah.
just-
See,
I was like,
I'm just going to take us over to the crypt interior again. So originally, they were meant to come in here and you would be trapped
Coming
in
where? Coming where?
come in through the entrance.
Oh.
And you would be trapped in here and have to fight them.
That would have been a lot more advantageous for us, though, I think, because of the choke points in this map. Even if it would be difficult to win, I think there is a slight possibility we would have at least downed like
I
3
mean,
of
do
them.
you have grease?
I do not, but I have other.
Because if
well,
you had grease and they're coming in through here, it's like I
don't have
grease
grease,
the
but-
floor.
I don't have grease, but if like Tulip just like stood at a choke point and I just healed every time she took a hit from the front guy, we could probably chop through a couple of them. I think. 'Cause I can heal through
Like
12
if we had some like battlefield control, there was an off shot because of the choke point, but no, I think we're still fucked. Like I'm pretty sure they just walk up and they're like, hit you, you fell over, right, next
Yeah.
person.
We got one person that we're fighting in melee, and then the other 4 are throwing javelins at you.
That's true. The javelins do make it difficult.
Just a little bit, yeah. I hope I get to punch one of them in the tit next round, because that was rude.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna find ourselves in foreign climes next session.
Possibly.
Yeah,
but
where
orcs
are
don't
we
throw
headed,
hands-
by the way?
don't throw hands a lot, right? Like they speak that language, the language of raw anger.
What direction are they headed?
West along the river.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So maybe not to foreign places yet.
Also, I really like the fact that there are just contingencies where Ziga and Chris look at each other like, well, our sisters are dead, but fuck, man, I ain't going to fight that dragon, so...
I was gonna say.
Well, that's kind of the reason why Chris didn't just leave. Like he wouldn't leave everyone behind.
Oh, I know, but it is a funny thought.
I was gonna comment jokingly, like what you when you said you were gonna use all 3 actions to yeet off. It's like, what? You're gonna leave us behind?
Yeah,
That
no,
was
that may in fact be why he didn't just do that. It's like, oh wait, I have to be in character. I cast a spell. It's just like, oh, it did nothing. Fuck.
Whereas
Man, doing that, spending your turn on that, and then they're like, I passed the will save, is the worst thing.
It's pretty grim. Whereas Zigga's in character reaction is to fuck off.
I don't
reasonably speaking, I think though. Like, that is
fair.
reasonable. That's why I was gonna say, like I was gonna say to David jokingly, because I think that actually is a reasonable reaction.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Zigga's not gonna fucking sit around as a rogue taking 4 fucking orc barbarians. He's not that one girl on the couch with the 5 men behind her.
No.
You know the meme.
That was B though in this situation.
Yeah.
Oh no. Poor
Yeah, I mean,
B,
like
you got
Ziga
bodied.
absolutely cares about the rest of his family, but like,
Yeah,
come
don't-
on.
I was kidding. I was kidding. I wasn't trying to say like that.
I mean, to be fair, though, B literally did take a javelin to the fucking knee. And as she was, like, looking down at it, she got bodied again. And it was like, well, guess I'll die? On JPEG?
Oh dear.
I don't think they would, like, willingly... Or I don't think they'd be happy to do it, but running was definitely the better option in this case.
The instant the moment where Zigga was watching this happen from the trees and everyone else was like getting raided basically, reminded me very much of Goblin Slayer's like opening like the backstory segment.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if any of you have actually seen read or watched that, but
No, afraid not.
I've seen some of Goblin Slayer. It's very, very violent, but it is good.
basically a village gets raided by goblins, as you might imagine. The kid, the main character, is like underneath the floorboards because his older sister told him to hide there, and he's just watching his family get killed above, and the blood is like dripping through the cracks.
Oh, great.
It's very gruesome.
It's pretty gruesome.
Isn't the main character in that like actually really odd? Like he's not a.
He's very focused.
Like all he cares about is killing goblins. Like he pays
Yeah.
no attention to anything else.
So you know
Yeah.
Doom Guy? He's Doom Guy, but with goblins instead of demons.
Mm-hmm.
Does he
So we were
actually
about
have
to
like
wait.
a name?
What's that?
Does he actually have like a name that isn't Goblin Slayer?
So that show slash light novel is actually very heavily based on D&D, and the way that the author named the characters is basically by the kind of character they are and not by actual names. So there's a person called Witch, and there's a person called like Lancer.
Oh, it's Fate Grand Order. Got it.
Yeah, so like the guy's name is actually like everyone knows him as Goblin Slayer, literally.
Apparently, his English voice actor is Brad Hawkins, who did the motion capture for the Doom Slayer.
Well, there we go then.
It all comes together.
All comes together.
Oh yeah, none of them have actual names.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them is just called Cowgirl. I forgot.
Yeah, she's the farmer
She's the
girl
farm
that
girl, yeah.
he knows.
Oh yeah, she's the one that has the huge crush on the Slayer
Yeah.
himself.
I was wondering what was going to come after Huge there.
It was a little
Cowgirl's uncle.
Yeah.
Is it-
You know what? From what I'm seeing, that other thing that could have come after Huge does also apply.
Yeah.
So,
Apparently she's
Bazongas?
retarded.
yes.
Yeah, she's
Von
got pretty
Hon
massive
Von Hon
titties.
Donker doos.
yeah.
Okay, so actually, can we talk about the crypt itself?
Yeah?
What was the story behind the environmental storytelling in the crypt?
Oh, well, that isn't finished yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This isn't a closed book yet. We'll find out.
Well, I don't think we're coming back to the crypt, are we?
No, but this is related to the plot thread that we're following. So
Okay.
if you were to tell us
We've got to find out what the guys who just absolutely fucking decked us were doing there.
Mm.
yeah, exactly. Your curiosity will go unsated for another X amount of time.
Probably weak.
Yeah, give or take.
Well, a week or two, depending. I thought it was great though. I really thought there was some way around that cave in. I'll say that much. But other than that, like everything else was there's a lot of details in there and was quite interesting.
I'll be honest, you did crush my dreams when it wasn't actually an illusion.
I'm
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
really hoping. I
I'm
was
sorry.
really hoping
I
it was fake.
I was planning for there to be nothing there. That cave-in was a late-minute addition. When the idea of the thing, the circle on that side having survived came up, I fucking ran with that as improv because that was a really cool idea.
Yeah. No, I understand. It is. I think it's partially the player's role to overanalyze random shit, and
Oh, yeah.
most of the time it's not actually the case.
Well, that's the thing. As a player, you don't know what is random shit and what is deliberately planned. Like, I didn't even think of the indentations in the rock, like showing where the dust had been cleared out, as that being part of like the actual, like not what's it, diegetic, where it's actually part of the story. Because there's certain things we're told to ignore, like the walls being like extremely weird.
I do have some background information on this. That's why, like, not because Fish discussed it with me, but because I've made maps before, so I know what like some details that I noticed. That's where I got.
I mean, I noticed the like lines on the floor. I did realize, but yeah, no, you crushed my dreams, Tom. I wish it was fake. I wish it was fake.
One day I'm gonna give you an illusory wall. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be when Chris is leaning up against the wall. That wall happens to be illusory, and then Chris threw it down a cliff.
Yeah, no, that would be so I see at this point. To like unintentionally just like disbelieve the illusion he's leaning on.
He makes a deadpan comment because someone said something dumb. He leans up, he puts one arm against the wall, like, with the other hand on his hip, and then he falls straight through down a chute and dies.
Yeah, into an ooze.
Whoa! Hold up! And dies.
And dies.
Did I stutter?
You just fucking
No,
died.
but I mean, I'd be very sad. I had this discussion genuinely with Mark, who's listening to these sessions. Like he's actually straight up watching the recordings,
Sure.
and he was, and we had the moment where it's like, if only one person dies, how the fuck do you reintegrate yourself into this group as a new character?
You try to fill the void.
as another survivor, I guess, from a different group.
Yeah, it's just interesting, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I very specifically wanted the group to be very integrated with each other because I think that helps the kind of teamwork dynamic a lot when you're in that kind of framework.
This is definitely fresh. I think some groups say they want to do that, but they don't end up actually having it work.
Yeah.
This one has been going pretty well in that direction, I think.
Well, that's all on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a lot of good with that.
Yeah. It's interesting to have. Like, it's interesting because, like, normally everyone has to come up with their own backstory, and then it's like, oh, and why do you know each other? And thankfully, we don't have to fuck around with that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I think this actually like been super great for cohesion, and I think that more games should be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! I'm helping to set an example.
Yay!
I have seen it be. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just telling him he's doing great, buddy. That was it.
Yeah, for sure. I think it does get recommended every once in a while, but like I said, not many groups or DMs follow through with it very well, I think. That's assuming that DMs are going out and looking for this kind of advice in the first place, which not all of them do as well. So.
It was fun though. I still hope I get to punch Daddy Orc in his tit next round, but
we will see.
It was fun.
I'm gonna split.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
I'll catch you later.
Bye.
Catch you later.